Week 18 of the fantasy baseball season with the trade deadline here today in most fantasy leagues. Here's a few pitchers I look to buy and trade for this week. The first guy, Andrew Abbott of the Cincinnati Reds. Andrew Abbott, he came onto the scene pretty nicely when he got called up a few months ago for the Cincinnati Red team. But over the last couple weeks here, it's been tough for him on the season. 70 2/3, 6-3 record, 74 Ks, 2.93 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, and 8 quality starts on the season. But the last couple weeks here, 9 innings, 0-1 record, 8 Ks, a 10 ERA, a 2.44 WHIP. So the Cincinnati Red team, they're struggling mightily. No doubt about it is this Red team over the last few weeks here. After they got back into the hunt, and now they barely could win a ball game in the last 10 games here at Cincinnati. So Andrew Abbott, he's hit a little bit of a wall. I know in the minor leagues he didn't pitch a lot of innings this season here, is Andrew Abbott, but he still has a lot of good upside, I believe. And I think he can help fantasy owners and obviously the Cincinnati Red team down the stretch here. So the last few games here for Abbott, July 25th, the Brewers, 6 innings in that one. Got the win, 7 hits, a walk, 9 Ks, a quality start. July 31st at the Cubs, 3 1/3. 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. And August 5th versus the Nats, he got hit in that one. 5 2/3, got the loss in that game. 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 walks, 3 Ks. Next outing's August 11th at the Pirates. We know the Pirates, they really haven't done much this season here, even though they did get off to the good start early in the year. But right now, while Abbott is struggling, and he has major upside, and he's one of the best pitching prospects to come up this season, league baseball and for fantasy baseball, this is a perfect time to buy him low, because if he could get back on track as Abbott, you know the upside, and especially the K rate is good as well. The next pitcher, another rookie, Bryce Miller of the Seattle Mariners. So Miller, it's been an up and down rookie year for him. The first 4 or 5 starts of his career were very good, and then he took a little bit of a step back and also an injured list appearance as well. So on the season, 85 2/3, 7-4 record, 85 Ks, 4.20 ERA, a 1.047 WHIP, and 7 quality starts. But the last couple weeks here hasn't been good. 16 1/3, 1-1 record, 21 Ks, 7.16 ERA, a 1.35 WHIP. So right now, Bryce Miller, he's hit a little bit of a wall over there in Seattle and for fantasy owners. But I still think he's got good stuff. Obviously, this problem with him is he relies too much on the fastball, and at times teams have locked in on that fastball, obviously, and gets the pitch right, and that's why he's been struggling a little bit. July 26th at the Twins, 5 2/3, got the win. 8 hits, 6 runs, 7 Ks. August 1st versus Boston, 5 2/3, got the loss. 7 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. And then August 6th at the Angels, he had a little bit of a nice bounce back in that one. 5 innings, 5 hits, a run in that one, and 10 Ks. So right now, Bryce Miller, the ERA is still up there, 7.16, like I said in the last couple weeks here. He's got a tough matchup coming up at Baltimore, and he's not even owned in 100% of fantasy leagues. He's still out there on the waiver wire as well in 30% of leagues. If you could get Bryce Miller on a little bit of a discount, even though I know he's coming off a 10K game at the Los Angeles Angels, even though they're one of the higher strikeout rate teams in the league, this is a perfect time to go out there and buy him this week, because I like his upside as well. And to be honest, pitching is more of a young man's game at this point of the fantasy season here. In the season, the veterans, obviously, they have more trouble as the year goes on because they're tiring out with age and all that stuff. So right now, a lot of young guys taking the league by storm over the last couple seasons. And I think Bryce Miller could pitch well for the remainder of the year. And he's going to get every opportunity, especially with this Mariners team not really contending, and seeing what they got in the future with the young guys. The next pitcher we go to a veteran, though, is Charlie Morton of the Atlanta Braves. So we know Morton, he's more of a second-half pitcher throughout his career. On the year, 123 2/3, 10-10 record, 132 Ks, 3.86 ERA, 1.44 WHIP, and 9 quality starts. But the last month of the season's been tough for him. 26 2/3, 1-4 record, 21 Ks, a 5.40 ERA, 1.54 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So right now, Charlie Morton, of late, it's been a little rough for him, but like I said, he goes in peaks and valleys. Some weeks he'll be great, and then a few weeks he'll go into a little bit of a drought. But with that offense backing him over there in Atlanta, and a pretty easy schedule coming up the next few series here, I think Charlie Morton could turn things around. And right now, well, he struggled over the last month of the season. This is a perfect time for fantasy owners to go out there and get him. And I believe you don't got to give up much, especially now with the deadline here and Morton not pitching good. This would be the time, because once the deadline passes, obviously, your chances of making any deals, even getting a Morton on your team, isn't going to happen. July 25th at Boston, 3 2/3, got the loss, 6 hits, 4 runs, 5 walks, K in that one. July 31st, versus the Angels, 6 innings, got the loss. 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks, a quality start. And August 6th at the Cubs, 4 1/3, got the loss. 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 4 Ks. So right now, he's only got 2 quality starts in the last 5 outings. Here's Charlie Morton. His next outing is a good one on paper at the New York Mets August 11th tomorrow, where obviously this New York Mets team, their team's pretty gutted after the trade deadline, and their offense really hasn't been doing much over the last week and a half of the season. So I think Morton could get things going, and he's got a good track record versus the Mets. And like I said, he's got a great Atlanta Brave offense backing him, and a couple easy matchups coming up. So right now, while he's been struggling over the last month of the season, even though I know he's a second half pitcher and turn things around, this is a perfect time to buy Morton this week. The next pitcher, Tony Gonsolin, a Los Angeles Dodgers. I know last season was a great year, 16-1 with a 2.14. But Gonsolin, it's pretty much been a mid to poor season for him. 93 2/3, 7-4 record, 74 Ks, 4.42 ERA, a 1.19 WHIP, and only 3 quality starts in the season. And the last month of the season, not good at all. 26 innings, 2-1 record, 20 Ks, a 5.88 ERA, a 1.35 WHIP. So right now we know he's on a good Dodger team, one of the best teams in the league. Here's Tony Gonsolin, and he's been on and off this season on the injured list as well. That definitely could play a role. And also, obviously, season was fluky, no doubt about it, to be 16-1 with an ERA under 2.5. So right now, Gonsolin, his next outing's a good one on paper versus the Rockies on August 12th, where we know they gutted their roster and one of the worst teams in the league here. But he just hasn't gone out there and performed. And right now, to give up much at all, I believe, to get him on your team, July 26th versus the Jays, 5 innings, got the loss. 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. August 2nd versus Oakland, 5 innings, got the win. 5 hits, a run, 2 walks, 3 Ks. And August 7th at the Padres, 6 innings, got the win. 9 hits, 6 runs, though. A walk, 3 Ks. So right now, his strikeouts are going down over the last few games. He's given up a decent amount of runs, and he's not going deep into games here. So that's definitely an issue for Gonsolin. But I still think he could be a decent back end of the rotation guy for fantasy owners. And it wouldn't be surprising to me if he goes on a little bit of a run as well, because this season, he don't have that many innings on his arm. He has Gonsolin, only 93 2/3, like I mentioned, and we're already just about in the middle of August. So right now, while Gonsolin's been struggling, and he definitely still has some upside, even though he's not going to put up the numbers like he did last season, and he's on a great team like the Dodgers. This is a time to go out there and buy him before he could turn things around and could be a big help at the stretch run here. In the 5th and final pitcher I look to buy and trade for here is Aaron Nola, the Philadelphia Phillies. Aaron Nola, we know he's a free agent after the season, and his value's definitely gone down a little bit, even though I know he's still going to get a huge contract on the year. 143 1/3, 9-8 record, 147 Ks, a 4.58 ERA, a 1.14 WHIP, and 11 quality starts. But the last month of the season, really struggling. 24 1/3, 1-2 record, 27 Ks, a 5.55 ERA, a 1.27 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. And Nola, we know he goes deep into games for the most part, but this season, his stuff is just getting hit hard, and the exit velos as well have been trouble. And a lot of teams are taking him yard as well. The home run ball has been more of a problem than ever for Nola. And even the last 2 outings versus poor hitting teams, he just couldn't get the job done, which is an issue. But I think he could bounce back here today, and it starts with Washington. And Philly, they're trying to make the stretch run here to get one of this wild cards, where right now they're one of the top 3 teams in the race. July 23rd at the Guardians, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 7 Ks, a quality start. July 29th at the Pirates, 4 2/3, got the loss. 9 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks. And August 4th versus the Royals, 5 1/3 in that one. 8 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 8 Ks. So the strikeouts are still solid, 21 Ks in the last 3 outings. But like I said, that fastball has been too straight, and they've been taking him yard of late as opposing teams here versus Nola. But Nola, we know at the end of the year, the numbers are always there. He's a guy that never gets hurt usually as well. And he's going to give you innings and go out there and compete as Nola. So right now, while he's struggling, especially versus 2 bad hitting teams, this is a perfect time to buy him low is Nola, especially with the deadline here. It's good timing. So that's a few pitchers I look to buy and trade for here with the trade deadline here today in Week 18 of the fantasy baseball season.